I'll sit over here, so we've got Kit in the background.
Hello! I've started before Simon was ready. Brilliant. So, as you can probably guess from our setup, this is working marvellously. Absolutely marvellously. So what we've done is we've connected a phone call to Simon using Facebook video chat, and that is what I'm currently holding on a selfie stick. So this possibly won't be the interview that we were hoping for. But Simon might show us around his workshop quickly, if he wants to.
Probably go for a little walk, though. There's a way to tell the cat I can do this, can't I? So,
here's Simon's workshop.
Yeah, there's a bit of it. Yeah, that's the load of stuff we're polishing at the moment. Stuff we're making.
This is marvellously bad. I mean, this is like heroically bad, Simon.
Oh, right.
And I say this as a person that has had an award ceremony where somebody was describing photos. Sorry, I'm coughing. Describing photos. So yeah, Simon.
But from the floor, I can show you the hall if you like.
Simon's. Look at that. Simon lives in what used to be the Mill, a LARP venue, and it's still sort of the Mill, but is occasionally on fire.
Yeah. Well, it's the next building next door that keeps setting fires. We've got to stop that for a while. Look, there's another rack of kit all ready to go. Can you see that?
I can see that. Look, this thing's being made by Simon. I can maybe do this. Oh, I don't know how that works. There we are. Yeah, it hasn't helped that my selfie stick has to have the phone this way round, so I'm holding it at a really weird angle.
Yeah, it's like to do with holding the phone the other way around.
And now I'm showing up on your camera. It's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are! Hooray!
There we are.
So yeah, that's Simon. I think we're going to cut the bit to Simon because while hilarious, it's terrible.
Yes.
And at a future point, we will have a better connection with Simon and possibly able to.
What I'll do is I'll make you a video tomorrow around the workshop on a proper camera and at least just post that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be super duper. But I'm going to tell some funny stories about Simon while he's not here. That's going to cheer me up no end.
All right, brilliant, mate. Well, bye for now, then.
See you soon, Simon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, turn the phone round. It's gone away. It's gone away. Right, I'll put that down. Or hold it inaccurately or something. Not now, we won't do that. Right, so Simon Medlock is basically the godfather of the UK LARP weapon. Many years ago, he was making weapons back in the day in Treasure Trap, and he had the construction techniques down pretty well, was making good weapons people like to use, but they were covered in gaffer tape. And then he met a guy called Mike Peck. Sorry, no, I'm making up names. Terrible. I'm on my own in a room making up names. He met somebody, Mike Stringer. I knew I'd remember it eventually. I'm on my own trying to no script because this has all gone wrong. And and Lee's here, or someone's here. Hi Lee, probably, because Liam's possibly scared and on fire. Right, so yeah, sorry, I've been distracted by the chat. I always get distracted by the chat because it's very, very small. It is Lee, hey, and my selfie stick, hey. Mike Stringer was making lovely weapons that looked beautiful and were finished really well, but some of his construction techniques weren't as progressed as Simon Medlock's. So they got together, and Simon Medlock said, "Oh, this is how I put bits inside the weapon," and Mike Stringer said, "This is how I coat the weapon with latex and make it look pretty." And between them, they made the first latex weapon. Simon then took that idea and ran with it. Mike Stringer went away to become a Hollywood movie artist or something. I'm sure if we get to speak to Graham from Talos at some point, he'll have many interesting tales to tell us about Mike. But yeah, that's how latex weapons were sort of created. So we're going to have Medlock here, and he was going to tell us about it, but he's gone away, so we'll have to do that later. But he will come back if there's ever internet signal and his house isn't on fire. So yeah, now we're going to look at when latex weapons were really, really early in their construction. Medlock was making them back in the 80s, and back then there weren't really very many places to buy professionally made latex weapons from. There were people experimenting and not really people knowing what to do very much until Medlock told them. At the time, there was a workshop in London called the Labyrinth Workshop, and they were also making weapons. But they had some less advanced techniques and hadn't really learned how to make them as well. And so there was a rumour of the person who owned Labyrinth at the time, or Labyrinth Armory at the time, going out for dinner, and he took with him Simon Medlock on his street. And the idea of the meal was basically try and get Simon Medlock drunk and tap him up for how to make weapons, which sounds ridiculous and insidery, but hey. And the truth is, Simon would probably just tell them if they'd asked him, because he does that. He's lovely. But this was the 80s, and things were a little bit wild and woolly. You just ask him what? I can't remember what to ask him. The messages sound really late. They've got to be more in context for what I'm saying. I've moved on. So anyway, the person owning the Labyrinth Workshop had brought along the person running the Labyrinth Workshop, a guy called Dominic. And Dominic was there ostensibly to sort of learn from the master. But the person who arranged the dinner was driving and said, I can't drink, so this person will match you drink for drink throughout the meal, so you're not drinking alone. That's very kind. Now, I believe Medlock likes a drink. He does like a drink. And so the person who was drinking matching drinks like for like was basically falling off his chair, and at the end of the meal had to be poured into his seat. Oh, I just got a phone call. I missed it entirely because I cunningly switched my phone on to silent. What a genius phone! I'll have to phone him back in a minute. Yeah, so that is sort of the secret of how some of the tips for making weapons were first spread by Simon Medlock. And I've known him for many years because I've worked in technically competing companies, and I've worked for Having a Larp selling a lot of his weapons and taking them into Europe. And it's always funny taking them into Europe because if you're a new trader going into any market, firstly, the customer base has never seen you before, and so is a little bit wary of what you're doing. And secondly, often other traders will resent your presence and not be best pleased on you turning up. And when they came and looked at our weapons, it's very easy to talk down to another weapon maker. He's phoning again. He's not going to learn that I'm on solo mode. I'm just laughing. When they came in and they were sort of looking at the weapons, Simon's weapons are very, very pretty. And they couldn't really deny that they're very pretty, and they couldn't deny they're quite well made, and they're well balanced, and they're lovely. And also that they're all entirely individual. Often you get a weapon seller, another company coming in saying, oh, right, what is your best seller? I will have that. And then what they want to do is possibly try and copy the design and use it for slightly not ethical methods, I would think. But hey ho, that's their choices. But they'd come in and they'd look at the range of weapons and say, so what is your best-selling weapon? And we wouldn't have a best-selling weapon because everything that the Medlock Armory was making is unique. So I'd just say they're all unique. And people would say, whoa, who is this weapon maker? And I would say, Simon Medlock is the world's first professional LARP weapon maker. and the first person to put to professionally put latex onto a weapon, and has been making weapons for over 40 years now. And everything is handmade and everything is unique. And you could sort of see some of the other people's jaws drop a little bit as all of their objections sort of fell out the window of, well, what experience has he got? What does he know about this? How does he make his weapons? He doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, that was quite amusing. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in various fields with Simon, mucking about and playing silly games, and he was the person that I'm most proud that years and years ago, possibly sometime in the 90s, a random conversation came up, and he mentioned another trader called Chow, and I happened to say, "Oh well, yeah, in real life she's a dentist," and he said, "What? Yeah, she's a dentist. Haven't you seen? She's got really nice teeth. Yeah, that's why she's a professional dentist. This is just her part-time job," which she probably punched me in the arm for calling it now. But I hadn't really, it was just something I said to pass the time. I hadn't really thought about it. But it turns out that, I dropped my phone. It turns out that Simon, he took me sort of for my word. And every time he had dental work done for the next about 3 years, he would go and show it proudly to Chow so she could give him her professional opinion. Until finally she cracked and said, "Simon, why do you keep showing me your teeth?" And he said, "Because Ian said you were a dentist." And she said, "Ah, yeah, Ian said I'm a dentist." And that was sort of that. But yeah, Chow being a dentist is still a hilarious figure of fun. Plus, once back in the early 90s, we were both trading, or mid 90s, we were both trading at an event, and many hijinks happened. Simon stole a pack of magic cards that we were selling, which I probably should have cared more about, but it was stock that cost £3. However, when whoever was running security for the event we were at came near us, I started complaining loudly and trying to get them to arrest him, at which Simon just laughed, and that was sort of the end of that, really. He did actually get trading me a dagger for that, so it was a fair exchange, really. And then he found out how much magic cards cost and felt sad because he'd given me a dagger. But there, that's some stories about Simon. I'm sure I've got loads more. I'm sure other people have got more, and I'm sure people have seen him get up to all sorts of nonsense that they'd like to put in the comments. And that'll be super duper. It was lovely to chat to you all. I believe we might have to up our number of broadcasts. So if you didn't enjoy this one much, there'll be another one along to irritate you sometime soon. And if you could subscribe and do all the things so that it looks like we're a proper channel, that'd be brilliant. And then Twitch will think we're real, and I don't pretend to be a real boy anymore or something. And then we'll tell YouTube, and YouTube, you can also smash the subscribe button. You have to smash it there, I believe. You can't just click it or touch it or hit it. You have to smash it. If you haven't smashed it, possibly with a hammer, you're not doing YouTube right, and they'll come round and arrest your dog. I think that's a pretty good threat. So anyway, I finished for tonight. I hope to see you all online again another time. Yeah, I was going to ask Medlock how to make weapons. Well, thought about how to make weapons. Because of the drunk explanation of how to make weapons, I found out the Labyrinth Workshop for many years, just did something completely incorrectly. And it wasn't until I actually went to Medlock's workshop and saw him making weapons himself that I understood what it was. And it was pretty funny. Anyway, that's enough for today. thank you all for stopping by. I'm going to press stop streaming and something might happen. Oh, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make, what am I supposed to do something over here? Oh, I've got an adult to come and help me. There's a brilliant, hi, adult. So, I've got to press my these over here, haven't I? It's called up or left? Oh, right, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I found the right thing. So I can go to Larp on TV and that'll kill this stream. And I'll see you all next time and you can look at a picture and then I'll press stop streaming and I'll stop recording. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.